Hello, everybody. Ian Raps, and welcome back to an episode of. I'm going to be careful. Just pour this coffee with Ian. It's still hot, even. So, hope everybody is having a good Saturday morning. It is currently 6:29 a.m. for me here, and just I'll talk about a few things that have gone around the last little while. So like I mentioned in the title of the video, one thing I'm talking about here is morning, Jim, is the Seasons mod. Of course, that's coming out at some point in the near future. So when are we going to see it? That's what I would be curious to know. And they have been updating Seasons mod pretty regularly, as far as I understand. Like all the information about it has been updated regularly. So I'll be very curious to see how soon it comes out. I know Silver News has been talking about it for a little while now, and he keeps finding updates about it regularly. So I think it's only a matter of time now. It may even, like, for all I know, it's maybe out in like a closed beta or something like that. You never know. But that is what's going to be happening with Seasons. Now, I'm curious to see what kind of changes are going to make to Seasons in comparison to what it was like in 2017, because, of course, we had like winter, summer, fall, and spring, of course, and then they had the snow involved, and then they had a couple of things. So it'll be curious to see how that integrates with weeds as well, because sometimes what will happen is, I haven't messed around with weeds at all, to be honest with you. Mainly because I've been playing on a server, and I'm not on the server every day, so it's very difficult to keep on top of the weeds if you're not there like every day, like, morning and night sort of thing. So is it a cup of coffee? It is a good cup of coffee. Yeah, it is a French press made in our fancy, well, I don't know fancy, but made in our French press right here. It is delightful, actually. I think the first cup seemed a little bit stronger than this one, but it's still a pretty good cup of coffee. It's still nice and warm, which is good. Oftentimes, what I'll do is end up leaving my coffee up here and then doing a couple things, and then coming to make a video, and then my coffee's cold, or not hot anymore, at least. But anyways, yeah, so that's what's happening with that. So I'm very curious to see how they're going to integrate some of the changes to FS19 into the mod itself, and to see how it plays around. Because what's happened is, you have some small little changes that have happened to the mod or to the game itself, which is going to affect the mod inevitably as well. And actually, speaking of mods, one of the things I just recently, someone tried it out the other day. They put the guidance steering mod on their server to see how it would work. And as far as I can see, they told me it worked all right. I don't know how well it'd work. I don't know. We have quite a few mods on the server right now. I think it's like maybe 100 mods. Let's say 100 mods. So I'm not sure. Maybe if you just had that one mod, the guidance steering mod would be fine. But with other mods, I'm not sure how well it would work, especially with it being in beta as well. If it weren't in beta, perhaps it would be a bit better, but don't know. Don't know how that's going to play out, basically. So, but I am kind of curious to see when that's going to happen. I don't think they have said anything on the guidance steering GitHub page. Let's see. It's still in beta or development version, and they said on the actual website itself, it says this version should also work in multiplayer, but keep in mind it might have bugs. So that's the latest thing they say about that. So it's possible that I could put it on the server right now and be perfectly fine, but it's also possible I put it on the server and it crashes it. So it could go either way, I guess, in that scenario. But it says it is working. And what about Courseplay? They said anything about that? Let's see. Courseplay 6 beta for FS19. Note the current it does not support multiplayer. So there you go. So in terms of Courseplay and multiplayer, it does not support it. Now, I believe at the end of FS17, you were able to put Courseplay on a server. So they have some of that coding already in place right now. So I suspect that they will put that into they will put that into the same thing in FS19 as well. And then the other mod that is supposed to work on a server, I don't know if this particular version does. This mod can be used to create. I don't know if this one is auto drive. It's all the old previous versions of the mod worked on previous versions of the mod worked on multiplayer, but our previous versions worked in multiplayer, but you had to record all the courses like off camera. So for example, or off camera on like your single player game, and then upload that file that you made to the server. That's how it works. So that is what you would have to do with that. And it's funny, I've actually watched a few tutorials in other languages to see if there's something I may have missed. Because some people have been asking me if it's possible to have auto drive unload the combine in the field. And as far as I can see and understand, that's not possible. You can go to a field and you can drive your combine to that pickup point, but you wouldn't be able to drive to the combine and unload from there, as far as I know. Yep, no doubt, Trevor. Indeed. Representing Ontario here. So, I don't know. It's funny. Another question people have asked me related to auto drive is it better than Courseplay or worse than Courseplay, or what's the difference? So one thing that you have to keep in mind is with Courseplay and auto drive, they're very different. So like auto drive, you have a network in place, and once you have the network in place, like you can go from any point that you have connected on the network. So let's say you built a circle, and then any point off that circle you could have as a destination. So you don't have to record the circle once and then just record from the circle to the destination point. Whereas with Courseplay, you almost have to go from point A to point B, point A to point C, point A to point D. And that's how you have to do it almost. Like there are ways to get around that, but I've never really gone up. It just seems more complicated than actually worth. Yes, I just seen you on a video. Help me change the Z file to an SCS file. Hey, no problem. That must have been a while ago. An SCS file. Yeah, that would be a while ago now. But yeah, 7-Zip's a great little program for opening up zip files, adjusting zip files without having to unzip them, stuff like that. I actually have it. Do I have it at work? I think I do have it at work even, just because there's a couple times where someone sent me a file and I didn't want to have to deal with WinZip or anything like that. So 7-Zip really works well for that kind of stuff. And I also use GIMP at work, which is like a graphical information manipulation program, I think it's called, something like that. That's what it stands for. It's basically like a photo editing or a picture editing program that's open source. So yeah, but that's what I've been seeing. So it's a bit different. Like with Courseplay, you can actually have it so it crosses different points and then it kind of chooses its own way, as far as I understand. I've never really gone and done that because it just seemed like it wasn't worth it, but it would, I believe you can do something similar with Courseplay that you can do with auto drive, but I've never really delved into it because it didn't seem like it was worth it at the time. Is it hard to be a YouTuber? I don't know. Depends. It can be for some people. It's not my main job, so it's not super hard for me. Just something to do on the side. But if YouTube was your main job, I think it would be pretty difficult because you'd be constantly trying to find out what's the next big thing and how to make that work for you and your audience, how to kind of change things and not manipulate things, but change things so it's always fresh and new sort of idea. So for me, I just do it because I have fun with it. And I like to teach people how to do things. So that's part of the reason why I did it. Originally, that's why I started doing it, because I just made a video about how to make TMR in FS11 maybe it was. And I was just like, oh, here's how you make TMR. I just put it on YouTube. And then I realized it was getting attention because I guess people didn't know how to do that at that time. So, and then they added like the tutorial, in-game tutorials and stuff like that. Do you have your own mods? No, I don't have any of my own mods, Justin. I don't make anything. Sometimes I might adjust a map every now and then, but I haven't bothered with that for a while now. I mean, it's fun to do that, mind you. I think that's what I did with the Idaho map a while back. Was it Idaho? No, which one was that? The All-American map, I think it was. I changed that one. So I changed that one a while back so I could just have a different facility for dropping off manure, I think is what I did. But it had like a place for everything. But now you can get that. You don't have to go into the Giants editor to do that anymore. You can just get a placeable. It'll do something similar. So with that placeable technology in the game or capability in the game, now it's quite easy to kind of get things you want. So it's changed quite a bit since you had to get into Giants editor every single time. So Anyways, folks, and with that, I will close it up, as I feel I'm going to start rambling soon. My name is Iain Robson. I hope you enjoyed that little short session of Coffee with Iain. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to leave a comment below, and I'll do my best to answer them. I'll catch you guys later.